Welcome everybody to LGAHL Quick Wrap. I am here with my guest tonight, the Calder Cup champions, Belleville Senators. How are you guys all doing tonight?
Good, man.
Excellent.
No complaints.
No hangovers. We're all good.
Should be all good.
Virtual hangovers, maybe. Just quickly, I'll just introduce the guys here in case you don't know them. I'm going to start with the GM in the toque there, the Detroit Red Wings, the very disgraceful Detroit Red Wing toque. That is NiTeOwL. How are you doing tonight, NiTeOwL?
Good. How are you, man?
So we were talking just before we started. You said this is your third Calder in a row.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive stuff.
Thanks.
Also with us here in our bottom right there, we have AGM Schwifty Tip. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm pretty good. No complaints here.
Exactly why is your tip Schwifty? That's what I want to know. We're going to find that out, though. We will find that out tonight. And you may have seen him already this season with us up in the upper left corner above me right here. That's Bellx91. How are you doing tonight, Bell?
Good. How's it going, boys?
Dang. This is what I believe a first. I could be wrong, but I think it's a first where we've done some media now with the champions. We've got all three managers. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I don't know how anyone else feels about it. I don't really fucking care how they feel about it, to be honest. But I'm glad you guys all joined me here. I had extended the same offer as well to Colorado. They were a little less receptive. But, hey, whatever. We're here now. You guys are the champs. Congratulations. Just before we get started, I guess, I got some questions, of course, for you guys. But is there any shout-outs you want to do? Maybe anyone you want to throw a little shade on or anything like that? It's open mic right now. You guys can say what you got to say.
I don't have very many shoutouts other than the whole team. I'm pretty sure I've reached out to everyone individually, our team and our own Discord. But we had one hell of a team this season, and I'd be lying if I said our expectation wasn't to win the whole thing. Every time I go into a season, that's the hope, but this season felt different from the beginning. It felt like we were going to do something special, and we did.
Well, I'll be honest. I go into every season thinking I'm going to make playoffs, and I ain't fucking done that yet. So, what about you, Bell? Anything you got to say about this season?
I think this team was one of the better teams I've been on, obviously, out of the three Calders. I think it was a little bit more meaningful to win this one out of the three. I mean, you look at our team and the roster compared to, like, the Stockton lineup. I mean, like, we didn't have our Crotches. We didn't have our Euros. Like, we didn't have, like, a really, really big-name guy, I think, other than, like, maybe Jiggle. But, like, I don't think we had, like, a standout player. So, like, I think it was, like, a really good Calder for the boys to win. And I think we proved a lot of people wrong, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I remember looking at your roster probably about midway through the season. I was just like, these guys are doing pretty good, but I don't really see it. Like, there's nobody here where I'm going like, wow, that's the guy, right? So you guys definitely won as a team, scored as a committee, obviously. So congratulations.
Thank you.
NiTeOwL, anything you want to say? Any shout outs? Anybody you want to shit on? Feel free to do it.
Pretty much the same, man. The everybody played great. Shout out to the whole Baby Sens, man. A shout out to Rippin' and Toxic, man, up in the end for handling business when shit went crazy and not fucking us too bad. And Corey Mack, 27, taking one for the team, going up to the end, man. Couple late additions, man. My son Rivsky, and my dad Jiggle, man. Those late additions with the Rapids, they panned out. So
I will say some people were making some noise today about how you guys owe quite a bit to Hershey and getting that trade for the Rapids. Apparently you fucked him pretty hard in that one. So
Yeah, that wasn't the consensus at the time, though.
yeah,
I know we got shit on a lot for doing that trade, and I mean, now we have them. They're there for another season.
yeah, you guys still
Everyone else is done, and the fact that people were undervaluing them was a surprise to me and everyone else here. So we were happy to get them.
That's kudos to you guys for seeing that and being able to, see their value and grab them. Other teams, all the other teams have access to those players. If you didn't make the trade, you didn't rip off Hershey or whatever you want to say. that's on you, right? That you guys made the trade, you guys made the play. Good for you, right? So,
Yep.
I guess let's just kind of move on. We'll talk about the playoffs themselves. Now we're talking ancient history here because we're going back like whatever it is, 6 weeks because of the break. First round, you knocked off Utica pretty easily, 4-1. You moved into the second round. Looks like you had a real nail biter against Syracuse, going 7.
Well, we blew that one ourselves.
So you possibly gave the dream away at that point, but you made it out, right? So that's great. The third round is where I saw the end coming for you guys. I thought if you were going to lose, you're going to lose to Wilkes-Barre Scranton. And it's not because they were so much better or anything like that. I've always just had a sort of a feeling about that team. I thought they were a good team. They weren't up to the task. You guys took them out. And then you moved into the final against Colorado. Do you feel in that final round against Colorado, were you the underdog or were you the favorite? What's your feeling on that?
I'm pretty sure the votes were almost like on the site for the bracket. I'm pretty sure it was 50-50.
It was 50-50,
almost on the dot.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was on the dot, and it's like we were going in, and we felt good about it. We felt like we were going to win, but it was the lowest. I think we're the least favored in any series up to that point, which is fair. I think that was the second best team in the league.
Colorado's
They
a tough
should have
draw.
been there. They should have been there. They definitely deserve to be there. But the mentality wasn't underdog. It was definitely, we're going to get this done the way we have to get it done.
You guys were ready for the fight, though, basically, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's... Anybody want to add to that, or
That Wilkes-Barre series had to be one of the best series of hockey like I've been a part of. Like, I know we won 4-2, but that was a team. Like, literally, like we were up 2-0 as usually we were up in the series, and then we were up 3-0 in that series, weren't we? And then they won 2, and then we closed it out. But they were 1-goal games, 3-2, 3-2, 2-1, 2-1, like 1-0. Like, those were, like, real hockey games, like, real playoff games. Like, Wilkes-Barre was a great team. To be honest, I mean, probably going to take a little heat for this, but I think Wilkes-Barre was a tougher matchup than the Eagles. But I also think that that Tuner had a lot to play with in that finals. Obviously, that's the big excuse and the big, like, obviously the huge deal, playing a finals on a brand new Tuner.
yeah.
And...
That does lead me into one of my questions, which was, how were you guys feeling about that? Were you pissed having to play with that tuner?
To be fair, I mean, both teams knew about it. Both teams had all the time to get ready for it, and we knew there was going to be no pause on the series. We knew they weren't going to do anything about it. Like, you had to accept the fact that we were going to play on it, and you had to go win those hockey games. And we were ready for it, and we knew, and we kind of knew what we had to do to play that style on that tuner, shoot a lot of pucks on that, play a little greasy, and just start battling, and that's what we did.
What do you think there, NiTeOwL? What were your feelings about that being the GM?
With the tuner, I was worried, definitely worried, because I remember playing the beta after playing NHL 18, and was like, man, this is terrible. And I think, to me, I actually enjoyed the beta as a defenseman. Outside of the poking, I think things were a little bit easier for us. The poking and the bumping in the corners is ridiculous.
The bumping's brutal.
But I got my stick lifts back, and that really helped me a lot. And so playing that week, leading up to the finals, I don't know. It felt good. Some things need to be changed for sure, but I wasn't worried going in. Like Bell said, both teams had to play on the tuner, so I don't think there was any disadvantage. It was all on who managed it better, So.
And I hate to use that as an excuse for to lose. It's a valid reason, but at the same time, I think you kind of got to take that one on the chin, suck it up, and about it.
No offense to Colorado, but if that series is played again, on the old tuner, we win anyways.
I would have to agree, because
I agree.
I think we played as a team a lot better on the old tuner compared to this tuner. So
I will
I
say,
mean, yeah, it would be great to have another go at it and see what would happen, but I mean that's not gonna happen.
I will say this. I am pleased at this point. I have not seen anybody gripe or bellyache or anything about we lost because of the beta tuner. I was expecting either way, whether Colorado won or Belleville won, I thought for sure somebody was going to bellyache about it, right? But
No, they're good. They're playing good about it. I gotta say that.
yeah,
They do good
and I'm
about it.
impressed. And I didn't expect it, honestly. So I'm impressed, and congratulations to them. And it's still a 4-1 winning the series. The scores didn't indicate that it was that lopsided. They looked like tight games. I didn't catch any of them, unfortunately, but it did look like a good series. This is another question I have, and it's really for each of you individually. I'd like to have each of your take on it. What would you say during this season or during these playoffs was your biggest challenge as a manager? And
Like going into the playoffs, or like
well, either
any
during
point
the
in the
season or during the playoffs. What happened in particular that you found is your biggest challenge as a manager?
Well, I think our biggest one is like the three of us was definitely when everything went down with the NHL. Like we lost Crotch and we lost Axie. So with them going, obviously there was big holes that were going to be needed to fill in the NHL. And I mean, thanks to Rippin and Toxic, like those two great guys, they really helped us out. Like they did whatever they could do not to mess with our team. But I mean, like we lost Corey, and I mean, shout out to Corey. He's a huge player for our team. Huge in the dressing room with the boys. Loves everything about the game. And I mean, like losing a guy like that. I mean, it sounds stupid to say, but like he was a key in our dressing room and that, right? So, I mean, I think that was one of our big challenges. I mean, Schwifty took a lot of shit, and I'm gonna say it. He took a lot of shit from when we traded the two brothers away, Selly and Bart South. At the end of the day, he's getting the last laugh at this. I mean, I think that was a huge challenge, like just from the reaction of the community. With a lot of the trades that we made at the deadline, obviously that kind of made teams count us out in that, but here we are doing this podcast right now with you as the champs.
There you go. What about you, Schwifty? Would you agree with that? Would you say that was your biggest challenge, or was it something else?
I'd agree that it was the biggest challenge, and it's the challenge every time you're a manager going into a season, that you always are going to come up with these situations where you're going to have to go one way or the other, and it will look like a bit of a risk. But those are the things you have to do to win, to push yourself and your team over the top to become a champion. You have to make the calls that you think are right, even if other people aren't going to think they're right.
And I guess that's a good point, right? You're not always going to be popular, and that's kind of what they say, heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? So it's a big responsibility. It's a lot of work. I've done it once. I'll probably never do it again for that reason, but that was also pretty fucking awful. So yeah, for sure. What about you, NiTeOwL? Do you have anything else? Any other points that you had during the season? You're like, oh shit, this is the challenge right here.
It's definitely for us three was definitely the whole NHL fiasco. Me personally was just managing in general, and it was great to have both of these guys talking to me one way or another. It was great. Nobody made a decision all by themselves, so I didn't feel left out or like I was going to be the bad guy. We all talked about, who might play in Game 7 or who we're going to trade, what we can get for this guy or what we can get for that guy. And it made things a lot easier for me. So definitely big shout out to both of these guys for that, because I didn't feel stressed at all. So
Excellent. So I guess it's sort of in the same vein. The next question is, and again, it's for all three of you. When did you feel was the real turning point for you? Did you guys put this team together? Opening night, you were like, that's it. This is the Calder team. Or did it come at the trade deadline? Or, what was the point where you said, we can do this. We can win this whole thing?
I think we're all going to agree probably the deadline, because like as soon as we made our trades, like I said, like the three of us knew the trades that we pulled off were the trades that we needed to go to the playoffs. This was the lineup that we needed. And like, I think the three of us were just like, yep, this, like, we feel really good about our team here. And like, that's when everyone said, nah, like, not this team. But like, for me at least, like, I'm not going to speak for them too, but definitely after the deadline, like acquiring Jiggle, like all the other guys that we got, and we knew like we had goaltending, like our goaltending was phenomenal. Like, we didn't really look at the roster and say, we're not weak in any spot, at any position. This is what we need to win, and this is what we're going to go in with.
Okay, fair. You guys agree with that, or do you have something else?
I do agree. It's the trade deadline was huge for us. It really allowed us when the trade deadline comes around. There's names that are talked about that are available that haven't been available up to that point.
Right.
And like, for example, with Jiggle, we'd been trying to get him the entire season. Initially, when he was on Providence, we tried there. They ended up going to Hartford, and we got him at that point at the trade deadline from Hartford. But they're even at the beginning of the season, I think we did very well. We had a pretty good starting point as far as the beginning of the season. We had a couple contracts from that we could get from NHL bidding to come down, and then the draft was huge for us as well. I think there was always a feeling that we were going to succeed regardless, but you can't go into the season assuming you're not going to make any trades. You can't assume your roster's set in stone.
Right.
It doesn't matter how good your team is. There's always a weak point, even if it's a good issue to have when you're worried about your third pair and really they're a second or first pair on another team. There's still a weak point, and you have to address it.
Right.
I think throughout the season you continually get better, and that's like a big key to being successful. Is you're not settling for anything, and you can't be afraid to hurt a couple feelings on the way there. At the end of the day, you're trying to win, and you have to trade people away that obviously wanted to be there, but it's something you have to do to win.
Yeah, no, good point for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, you don't always keep friends in virtual hockey. You know, it's not it's not the place to harvest those relationships necessarily. You know, you gotta break them off sometimes. Owl, do you have anything you want to add to that? Any other points?
Not really. I mean, I can touch on the trading guys away. It was definitely the trade deadline for me when I felt it. And these guys talked me off the ledge. I was skeptical about making that Rapids trade, and you know, obviously it worked out. But that's kind of it. Getting all those late additions and seeing those guys play, it was kind of right there. It was like, yep, this is it. Not going to be able to make a better run at it. So,
I think at the deadline, like, we were like, the three of us, like, just constantly going. Like, a lot of our big deals were even made like the last day, like the last couple of hours. We were still making deals. Like, there was a lot of things that we, like, it would be weird to see how they would have panned out. There was some deals on the table that we were like really skeptical about making, and that we didn't do, and there was some that we could have did that we maybe should have did, but we didn't, and we stuck to our guts on it. So it's good to see it pay off at the end.
You guys obviously made the right choices, right? Because you're here, season 31 champs, Calder champs, I should say.
Right.
Again, congratulations on that. I got one last question for you guys, and then I'll let you get out of here, and you can get back to living inside of a bottle for the next week. And that question is, what's next? What is in store for you guys, season 32? And I guess the real question is, does this team stay together? Is this a management team that we see next year? And we'll start this time with Owl. Owl, this is your third straight Calder. What are you doing for season 32? You staying here? You moving on up? Or are you George Jeffersoning it for us?
As much as people are probably going to hate it, I'm planning on sticking around another season. We did a lot of work, and I want to kind of see that through. Kind of feel like I owe it to some of the guys too. We signed a couple guys to 3 seasons, K-Dev and Swede, And then with the late additions, a couple of those guys were 2 seasons as well. I don't know. We're pretty set up for next season. So as long as LG McDonald is going to allow it, I'll be back for one more season at least to see them out. So
Yeah, I can't see why they would force you out, right? Like, okay, you have success, but it's not like you're
Someone's got to
so
do this.
far above everybody else, right? Like, you're certainly having success, but you're earning that success by surrounding yourself with great players and stuff. And that's just good management, right? That's not it's not like you're the greatest defenseman in the AHL. You're probably one of the better ones for sure, but you're not tearing it up kind of thing. So I can't see why he can't let you stay. So that's awesome. Congratulations on that. Schwifty, what's your plan for season 32?
I think I have to continue my destiny and move up again.
Ooh.
Last season I managed and with the Wheat Kings and won the Mem Cup there. Stepped up, managed, won the Calder. I don't think I'm stepping up to manage in the end, but I want to see what I got. I'm going to take it as far as I can. If I can't cut it, then I can't cut it. But I would like to give it a shot up there, see what I have.
Well, that's definitely very admirable. I like that plan. That's pretty cool. That would be. Can you imagine pulling off that trifecta, right? Going Mem Cup,
I think I'd have to
Calder Cup,
retire.
Stanley Cup in 3 consecutive seasons. That'd be impressive.
That's after that.
That'd be one for them, but that's better than 3 straight Calders in a row.
Absolutely, that's Hall of Fame caliber stuff right there.
It's a triple jewel right there.
Well, good luck to you next season if you do indeed move up. And I guess finally we have Bell. Well, Bell, what's your plan?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's not a great answer. I want something better than that.
I think I would kind of want to go to the show again, but I'm kind of more leading the way of going back to managing with NiTeOwL and see if we can do it one more time. Why not? We got 3. What's the problem with 4? Got a couple. I got a buddy from the CHL too. I like to play with. He's coming up too. So
there you go.
I need to say his name, but
so two
be
out of 3 managers choose the AHL. That's lovely. Okay, well I think that'll probably wrap it up for us. Unless you guys have anything you wanted to say before we go, certainly the mic is yours.
Shout out to Owen Sound Attack at the Mem Cup.
Did they actually get it as we?
They're still playing it.
Okay.
10:30 games just about to start.
Yeah, I know Game 7 is.
I don't know what happened in the 9:30 though.
Well then.
I mean, I will add that
I want them.
That suspension that they just gave to their managers is it's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I've never seen whining in LG end up becoming a suspension or a ban, but I guess that's what happened this time.
Sorry, you can't ban a guy for if somebody's not playing the whole season, whoever had that player as on their team should have been reported that he's not active anymore. And to use an ECU, I don't know. I don't think it's I think it's a loophole. I mean, I don't think it's suspension worthy. Definitely not. But maybe a talking to. That's not suspension worthy. Sorry.
The confusing part to me was that they have ECU rules and regulations for playoffs in the AHL. Two for the entire playoffs and once per series. Why that didn't go down to the CHL, I'm not sure. But that's something that clearly, if this is an issue for people, it needs to be fixed. I think this is a league issue, but clearly the others did not. And there is one thing I wanted to add is to you, Notorious, is for doing this show, and as the only remaining media show around, it was nice to see that you were doing it weekly or bi-weekly.
Well, I killed all the other shows, so it's kind of my responsibility to keep it going.
You didn't kill them,
I murdered all the other hosts, so
you're the best.
I just swallowed them, so I had to do something, right? No, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I guess I'll give a final word to NiTeOwL and his terrible toque.
It's brutal.
I respect the D,
that whole
man.
room just looks like
we're gonna have to get your address and pass the hat around or something.
Take the shit in the hat.
That's cool, man. No, just one more shout out to the Baby Sens, man. I love all you guys. You're all studs. You know that already, but congratulations, guys.
And a massive shout out for not being toxic in the Discord. Like, honest to God,
Absolutely.
everybody was like one as like a team. There was not literally one person other than Kadev having his typical freaking meltdowns and being an emotional guy. But like, he never brought that in the Discord or anything. Like, just busting his balls right now. Like, honest to God, like, our team was phenomenal from day one to the end. No complaints from anybody. Nobody wanting to like say I hate playing with this person, don't like playing with that person. Like, literally everybody was just on board, had the same goal, win it all, and it's great to win with a group of guys like that. I mean, that's what I say. Like, it really this team separates from the two Stockton teams that we played on and won it with. I mean, there's only me, NiTeOwL, Kadev played half the season, and LGAHL as the only guys who were on Stockton. So like, it really wasn't a Stockton team.
Right.
So, like, just to clarify that, because like, I think a lot of people really thought like, oh, the Stockton guys. It
It's
was
the
literally
spirit of
just
555,
three. There's
though.
three of them. Yeah, there's literally three of
555,
them.
man.
So,
Exy groomed us, man. Exy and
There you
Clutch
go.
groomed us for
to
sure.
be fair,
There
like,
you go.
yeah, this Belleville team was definitely one to remember.
All right. Well, again, thank you to my guests, Bellx91, NiTeOwL, and Schwifty Tip, the Belleville Senators management team from season 31 and your Calder Cup champions. Congratulations again, guys. Enjoy it. And until next season, season 32, we will see you again. Everyone have a great night.
Thanks, Notorious.
So you
Thank you.